Well, it's a little bit of an end of an era here on Alicia Budget Beauty. I'm pretty sure this will be the very last eyeshadow palette video here on my channel, and it is a decluttering video. I will be decluttering 56 eyeshadow palettes. So if you want to see which ones are leaving my collection, just kind of my ending thoughts on eyeshadow palettes, makeup as my channel, and why it has shifted so much, keep on watching. Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, very candid videos on makeup and declutterings and changes, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, this may be a longer video, so if you're not into those, I'm forewarning you. If you are not into makeup whatsoever, well, you're in luck because I'm not really showcasing that very much, at least long form on my channel. If you are one of the rare that is left from the beginning who were solely beauty, makeup, consumer video watchers, lovers of like the eyeshadow palette videos with me, I thank you so much for still being here because I know most have left. I'm not sure that there's really anybody left anymore that is just here for the makeup. So I did want to make this kind of officially my last video because in case you didn't know, I did start this channel as an affordable beauty channel. My very first video were just affordable drugstore makeup products that I loved. And then I think my second one might have been a Mora beauty video, I'm pretty sure. And then it kind of expanded some into hauls of places like TJ Maxx. And back then it was things like Shein and even Temu. I went into that whole route. And truly my greatest love was with fragrance. For a while, I truly did, like, it was beauty. I was all consumed with beauty, makeup, especially eyeshadow palettes. That was my love for a while. But in the back of my mind, in the deep recesses of my heart, has always been fragrance. And so I kind of I didn't even necessarily set out to completely shift over to all fragrance. I just started to observe that that is what people were more into these days. But there has been a very, very drastic decline in beauty and beauty consumption, makeup consumption, especially like colorful makeup, things like that. Since when I first started my channel, there has been a massive shift in popularity of fragrance. That's what was getting views. That's what was making me excited to sit down or stand up when I was in my old space that I hope to be back in like a month or so. That's what got me excited, was filming the fragrance. And I would look at filming some of my beauty content, my eyeshadow palettes, especially when they were new launches. I would dread it. Absolutely started to dread that content. And I finally got to a point where I thought, if I was making thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, I could make myself do anything and be excited about it, right? And it's not all about the money, but to not really be making money off of doing the makeup videos, to be dreading it, to also to a point where it's making me really resent makeup and the makeup industry, indie brands, owners, things like that. I just needed a break. I did try really hard. What I really wanted to do was make it both. I wanted this to be a makeup, fragrance, and throw in some fashion channel. It doesn't work. You guys, I tried. I really, really did. I got a lot of feedback from people. I couldn't make everyone happy. My beauty people, they were like, yeah, we're not here for the fragrance. Like, we don't care. Like, where are your makeup videos? But there were less of those, whereas there were way more my fragrance people. They didn't care about my eyeshadow palette videos, makeup videos. And as a matter of fact, you guys, every time I tried to post a makeup video, and I'm risking it with this one today, I would lose subscribers without fail. If it was a long form, I still plan on posting some short form, like the shorts of makeup, because makeup's still a huge part of my life. I still review a lot of it, showcase a lot of it on TikTok and Instagram. And in those platforms, it seems to work. I don't know what the difference is. I think YouTube people specifically go more for one thing. Whereas maybe because the attention span is so short-lived on the other two platforms that they are kind of like, oh yay, something new. Like now you're posting fragrance, now you're posting makeup. We like that. On YouTube, they want to sit down and watch the one thing that they really care about. And my channel anymore does not care that much about makeup. So I will do some shorts still, but as far as long form, this will probably be my last one. Like I said, I am decluttering 56 palettes here. I'm going to go through them fairly quickly, so this video isn't 2 hours long, but I've decluttered a lot. I have other videos, declutter videos, if you guys want to go see those videos and see what I've let go. I still have over 300 palettes in my collection. And I was kind of shocked at that. I really thought when I counted today, I was like, I think I'm down to like 200 now. No, I still have over 300 eyeshadow palettes, which nobody needs. If I do another declutter, I may not do a video about it. Maybe it'll be on TikTok, something like that. But I just couldn't believe it, you guys. Now, I don't really purchase eyeshadow palettes anymore. I have not purchased one this year. And it is mid-October. 4 years ago me was purchasing like 100 palettes in a year. Also getting PR. Now, I brought in a lot still because I do still consistently work with about 7 or 8 indie brands primarily. And they launch so many now. It's not just like 1 or 2 a year. Like some of them are launching like 6 a year. So I'm still bringing in a good 30 to 50 palettes a year. I don't really need to purchase them anymore. But I just, to put it in perspective, of the number of still having over 300 palettes when I've decluttered probably close to 300 total as well. It's nuts, you guys. And I think, yes, you can kind of find yourself in the same boat with fragrance, being a collector's mentality, like, oh, I want to have every fragrance from this house. Like you want every eyeshadow palette from this indie brand, and you can have the FOMO thing, but I just feel like with eyeshadow specifically, it doesn't make sense, you guys, to be as obsessive, for them to launch so much like they do. I still love a lot of my brands, but it's just lost its luster for me. It just has. And so that's it. That's basically why I'm going fully into the fragrance. I'm still going to do a little bit of fashion because I love that. And if you want to catch a little bit of makeup, watch my shorts. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the palettes I'm saying bye-bye to. All right, I've got one of the big kind of organizer things in front of me, so I'm just going to dig in. Let's go. All right, Alma Beauty Black Magic. Now, a lot of these eyeshadow palettes are not bad. Keep in mind, I still have over 300 eyeshadow palettes. I just don't need them all. So I actually love this color story. I really, really do. The other palette that I chose to keep, I don't know if it's Black Magic too. It's, the formula is a little bit different. I found the mattes to be better in that one, a little softer. And then their shimmers, these are kind of gritty shimmers that kind of almost go into like a glitter territory. So I love the color story. I just don't love the formula as much. So I kept the other one, letting this one go. Then we have Lethal Cosmetics. Honestly, you guys, this was the, it has like the little like video, like VHS recorder thing. I don't remember what this is called. I think it's so strange that the name is not on this palette. So I don't remember. I love Lethal. I kept a few. This is kind of like this matrixy sort of looking palette here, kind of futuristic. I like this. I just have other brights. I just don't need it. I do like Lethal's formula though. Okay, we actually have two from DD Signature, which is one of my favorite brands that I still adore, recommend, still do PR for. The reason why I'm letting these two go, I love this palette, the Golden palette. This is a collab with Miriam. She is so talented, stunning, beautiful, does gorgeous looks. But unfortunately, mine had 2 casualties, and I just don't want to bother to ask for replacements. One did come busted. The other one was loose and then ended up crumbling. It's about to all fall out. Without these 2 gorgeous shimmers, it just isn't a complete palette. So that's why I'm letting it go. But it's like, it's fantastic. I love Dee Dee. Now I am letting the classic autumn eyeshadow palette go. I did purchase this one. Love the color story. Adore it. This was an old formula. I want to say even like 2 times removed old formula. I think she's reformulated twice since this one. So it's just not as good. The mattes are a little bit dry and slightly patchy. The shimmers are okay, just not as good as her new ones. So even though I love the color story, I have better from that brand. I've held on to this, you guys. I have almost declared this so many times. I now officially own 0 Sigma palettes. Is Sigma even going to stay in business? Like, I don't really know. No one ever talks about Sigma anymore. I know it was kind of hyped for a few years. I used to have a couple of palettes, the Cinderella palette. I had another one. I don't remember. It's just not that good. I kept this one because I love the packaging. Like, this is so me. I love like an edgy glam. I love this color story. I just don't think the formula is very good. I just don't. As much as I love this color story so much, if this was in an upgraded, much better formula, I would keep this in a heartbeat. All right, this is one that I got in BoxyCharm Formula Z. I don't even think I touched it, you guys. Maybe I did do one. Maybe I did do one look, but it's just such a cheapie. No, if you're not Profusion, their sister brand, that's really inexpensive, even like Wet n Wild, you can't be charging like more than $10, like $20 max for a palette. I'm not sure how much this one costs, but I think it's more than that. Just in the formula is like not that good. Okay, I have 2 from Mora. I love Mora. I kept a couple of the palettes from them. The reason I'm letting these go, they're real chunky. I used to not understand people's reasoning with that. Like, when I was so brainwashed by eyeshadow and makeup, I was like, who cares? Like, the package is fun and it's eyeshadow. Like, buy it. I get it now. Like, it's bulky. It takes up a lot of space. When you have a lot of palettes, it's just kind of, so I did keep 2 that are this like thicker packaging, and I adore those palettes. I'm not out here really, I don't know, wearing this color story that much. I do like it. I like purples, but it does complement green eyes really well, and it's got neutral, so it's a good palette. I don't know. It's just not something I reach for. This is the Falling For You palette, another one that it's fine. Like, the formula is nice. Honestly, it's just, I just don't need it. Okay, we have a Profusion. So yes, like this is a $5 palette. It actually performs much better than that. Like, I'd say the most I'd pay for it was like $15, but $5, okay? And it's the same kind of that cheapy packaging, but it's $5, so it makes sense. I'm letting this go because I like this. This is the Mauves palette. I like wearing mauves. I just have a lot of really, really good mauve palettes, so that's why. Okay, we have Candy Skies from Laura Lee. This is no longer a brand, so if you guys know Laura Lee on YouTube, all the things, Manny, MUA's bestie. This is a great palette. Honestly, like, the mattes perform buttery smooth, really, really pretty pastel palette. I also love that you have a little bit of these deeper, warm, peachy tones, orangey tones in here. I just, the brand is no more. I have a couple other pastel palettes. How many do you need? So that's why I'm letting it go. By Buxom Cosmetics, The Moment. I kept, like, this avoided other declutter so many times. And then ultimately this time, I'm letting it go. I never reached for it. It's one of those that, like, the formula is really good, but it's not great. And at this point, I don't need to keep palettes like that. We have, this is a Judy doll. This is from Yes Style. So I believe it is a Sea Beauty brand, I believe. And this is such a weird palette. Someone told me this was from a show, like the characters on here. I don't know if you guys recognize them, and I don't remember what they said it was from. There's only one shimmer in here, the silver, that I actually really love. It's this kind of like strange spooky season looking palette that I actually like the color story a lot, but the mattes are a little bit light. Like they're not quite as pigmented as I'd like them to be. So even though it's kind of an interesting, very odd palette, I'm letting it go. All right, we have these 3 Nomad palettes. Now, I'm still affiliated with Nomad. I still do all of their launches. Really love the direction that brand continues to go in. It's a brand too that I love that they try to stay out of drama. Sometimes drama finds them and that just happens, but they try to stay out of drama. They're always listening to what people want, and they're willing to make changes that people want. And I love that about them. So I am decluttering these because they came out with newer versions. I love all 3 of these palettes. Berlin is the first one that I ever purchased myself before I was on their PR. This one always held such a special place in my heart. I love the grungy color story of this. It was always one of my favorites, even though the formula kept improving. I was like, but I still love my Berlin. Well, they came out with the updated version, improved the formula. I think this one, they also added mattes in it. No, they added, yeah, I think they added more mattes, because these are all these kind of like not super shiny, like satin shimmers in here. So they added some mattes. Love that palette, the upgraded America's Parks. Love this palette too. Just have the newer version. And then Provence, Fites de Provence. Love that one, but I don't need duplicate palettes. All right, the Beauty of Bible. This one came in BoxyCharm not that long ago, Carly Bible palette. I almost kept this just because of this like rando purpley shimmer in here. It's kind of this iridescent pinky purple. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera. I can just stick my finger in it. I really like it. It's not swatching that great, honestly. You know what? Glad I'm decluttering it. I had a pretty look, but it's so repetitive, you guys. This was not a well thought out palette. Like, why do you need all those neutrals that look almost identical? I don't know. Okay, we have The Age of Opulence by Beauty Bay. This one, and I went through a little journey. So when I first got this, everyone was like raving about this, and I had missed their Book of Magic palette that's kind of like a similar color story that everyone raved about. So I purchased this one, and I created one of the ugliest looks I've ever created. It was so bad. I've also improved a lot in my skills than I did back then, but it was like patchy. I remember doing my makeup and then having to go somewhere and seeing myself in the car and being really embarrassed to get out. So I was like, I hate this palette. Well, then when I revisited it, when I got better at doing my makeup, I actually liked it a lot. There was a certain formula you need to stick to when you use really almost any Beauty Bay. You kind of need to go in with like the dark shades, kind of buff those out, going with the lighter shades. It's just a process. But I loved my looks after that. But I don't want to work that hard. I don't want to think about it that hard. If I have to think about it that hard, I don't need it anymore. All right, Natasha Denona Love Palette. I think I've decluttered now 3 or 4 Natasha Denona palettes. This is just another, just not, I don't know. It doesn't excite me. I think it's a pretty palette. I think this formula is like, okay. I don't think it's honestly that great. I know some people love to sing Natasha Denona's praises. I love some of her palettes. I still have, I think 7 over there. So this is just not, it's just not my favorite. I don't really need to justify it. It's just not my favorite. Okay, we have 2 Pacifica palettes, the Stellar Gaze and the Animal Magic Stellar Gaze. I like both of these. I do. This one's a little bit, to me, a little cray-cray. I don't know. The colors, there's just a lot of colors in here. And then you've got these kind of weird split half shades that I don't fully understand. And I don't know. I got really pretty looks out of them, especially I think this one. I really like the green shimmer in here that stands out. I just, you know, the back is kind of neat. I'm looking at now. It's like all the little animal. No, I don't need it. Okay. Mystical Bloom by Ace Beauté. Got this one not too terribly long ago. Maybe not quite a year ago at a BoxyCharm. I really liked this. I thought the formula was great. I really did. They also, that's a weird brand though. They've gone through, that I know of, 3 rebrandings, and they just don't have an identity. I think in their second rebrand, they came out with these really cool lippies that were kind of edgy. I bought all of them, and then they just discontinued them shortly after that. And then they've gone through, like I said, like, we're rebranding again. I don't got time for that. But I do think this formula is excellent. I wouldn't really reach for half the colors, I don't think, anymore that much. Okay, the Jade palette, another Beauty Bay. This is ginormous. This is another thing that when I first was into makeup, I was like, that looks so fun. Oh my gosh, you get all those shades. That's so cool. I was such a like makeup nerd. And I would hear these people be like, I hate mega palettes. They're the worst. And I was like, they're so stupid. I'm kind of that way now. Like, if this is your only palette, it doesn't have everything. Like, you don't really have smoky tones in here. You don't have everything you need in this, but let's say you have this one, a really, really good, solid, neutral, warm palette. Then you've got a good cool tone neutral, and then you have a smoky palette. You pretty much have everything that you need. Someone who has over 300 palettes does not need this ginormous palette. But I mean, the quality's great. Just needs to be for someone else's collection, not mine. We have another big palette. This is Amor La Mexicana. This is by JC Cosmetics. I love this cover. I think that's what sold me initially. I was like, oh, she's so pretty. And I love her makeup on here too. Fabulous. Okay. I mean, you guys, I've just changed so much. I don't know. This is 4 years old. I also am doing this now for 4.5 years. Yes, I'm at 4.5 years. I know formulas so well. I mean, I have tested probably like 1,000 palettes. I'm not even kidding. And I know this is so like private label, cheapy formula. Like the type that you go on to those wholesale sites, you can select, anyone honestly could start a brand. Some of them have like no name on the palette. They're already like mocked up and you just stick your label on there. Some of them, like, you can just pick your own cheapy kind of wholesale shadows that anyone else could also pick, but you get to formulate or like make your own color story. I can tell these are those shadows just by looking at them. I know them so well now. The quality is not that great. Okay. I feel kind of bad getting rid of this because I do really like this palette. The brand owner was super nice. This is Makeup and Cosmetics. The Anna Jean palette is so fun. I mean, it's Lisa Frank inspired. So fun. You have all these fun, bright colors. This would be a really great, like, makeup artist palette or someone that does a lot of really fun, like, Halloween looks and all that. It's just so big. I do think it's kind of the same, like, wholesale private label stuff. I didn't really mind because this one actually performed well. I got this in PR probably 4 years ago. She was really sweet, but I just know I force myself to use it. And even though it's fine, I have amazing other palettes to use. Okay. The Trick or Treat palette by Perfusion. This makes me a little sad because it being like trick or treat time. It's so festive and fun. My daughter and I did looks with this last year. It's actually a really good palette. There's 2 shades in here. This one and this one right here. Incredible cream shimmer, kind of like molten lava type of formula. It's so molten. It's beautiful. I wish every shimmer almost was like that in here. Most of the shades were good. There were a few that were kind of eh. It's one that I thought about keeping just for collectors, you know. It's got the Peanuts characters, but I'm trying to get out of that mentality, away from that, just to keep it. All right, we have 3, you guys. Okay, so we have 3 LA Girl palettes. Have I gotten rid of all my big? I think this is it. I used to have like 14 of these, I think. I think these are the last 3. They are not bad. Honestly, like I used to recommend these all the time. They're so heavy and again, kind of bulky, but they were $15 back in the day. They may have gone up now. Great color stories, perform really nicely. Like, I really have nothing bad to say about them, other than once you have other brands that you adore, like my top indie brands that I love, even some of my Pat McGrath and some of my Natasha Denona and stuff. I just don't need these anymore, but I used to love having them so I could recommend affordable makeup. And I still recommend them. I'm just not really doing videos like that anymore, so I don't need to keep them if I'm not gonna, well, they may have just busted. I don't, hopefully those bulky packages kept them safe. All right. This is Buxom Cosmetics. If you're still supporting this brand, please don't. I have a few friends that I know that do, that still promote them. I still love those friends. I'm not gonna not be friends with them. This brand is SHIT. I loved these palettes. The Skull and Roses, Bougie Boudoir. I loved these palettes. Love, this is so me. This is like me. This is also me. If you don't know, just go to my TikTok. If you don't want to go to mine, you could go to Robert Welsh or to the source, Ella Kinkley, who the brand owner bullied, said horrible things. If you attack someone's physical appearance and their weight and you are a beauty brand owner, you are no beauty brand owner of mine. Period. Like, to me, there's not even like a well, and I did allow for them to apologize. They did not. They doubled down. They have denied. They have deleted literally thousands and thousands and thousands of comments on their platforms. They're trash. Trash. All right. Now, this makes me sad. And like, someone's going to love these, you guys. This is a brand called Unique Beauty, like EUNIQUE. This was like this little indie brand out of the UK that I found that I was like, oh, this is a jackpot. Like, these were so inexpensive. The formula, I just stuck a corner of that in like the prettiest shade in that palette. The formula is incredible. The packaging is nice. They were inexpensive. Like, no one was really talking about them. Fell in love, and like kind of shortly after I was like promoting them like crazy, they just disappeared. They just disappeared. Their Instagram went away. Their website was like no longer existed. I don't know what happened. But if I didn't have all the eyeshadow palettes I have, I would totally keep these because they're incredible. They're some of the best like shimmer formulas in my collection. But because I still do PR for makeup brands and still promote other makeup brands that I do still really get behind and love, I don't want to hold on to palettes that I know I'm not going to be sharing. Does that make sense? Like, these are excellent palettes. I want someone else to just have them. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay. LA Girl, 2 more. I'm letting these go. These are actually, like, at one point I was so in love with these about 5 years ago. I think they're just getting old. I remember the formula seeming a lot better. How many times am I going to stick my fingernail in these? They look drier to me now. I mean, they are 5 years old. But at the time, back in the day, I was like, why do people spend a lot of money on makeup? Like, these were just fine. I remember comparing these to the Major Dimension palettes by Patrick Ta and being like, they're not that different. A little bit, but not like $50 difference, maybe $10 difference. All right, we have 3 She Glam palettes. I think these are the last 3, so I don't own any She Glam palettes anymore. I used to have a bunch, like 20 something. These are the last. Honestly, these are nice. These were their Zodiac sign palettes. I had maybe 8 of them. These are the 3 that I kept because I liked the color stories on them. But, is it the same one? Oh, this blue one here. But I don't really order from She Glam anymore. I don't really promote She Glam and Team You anymore. I don't have a strong stance on it, but I know a lot of people do. It is, I kind of felt almost a little bit bullied out of it. And but I also understand somewhat where people are coming from. I just didn't want to mess with it anymore. There are lots of things that kind of rob my joy of makeup, and that was kind of one of them. Okay, we have LA Colors, this little palette here. I remember getting this at Dollar General. There's a Dollar General that's really close to baseball fields that my boys play at, and it was a tournament, and it was a little break, and I walked over to the Dollar General and grabbed this thing, and why can't I get it? But there we go. This is actually pretty good. It's just these little, they're honestly all these like shimmer, satin shimmers, kind of like the ones in the first Nomad Berlin formula palette. They're kind of like that. Like, they're a little bit flat, not super sparkly, but pigmented. Do the job. This was like $4. It's not bad. I just don't need it, but it's not bad. We have a Scooby-Doo. This is another one that I'm like, oh, these like Halloween Scooby-Doo Wet n Wild. Back in the day, they were doing really fun collections for holidays. There was a Marilyn Monroe holiday collection, like Christmas holiday. They did this for Halloween. They did a Sesame Street one that was fun, and Alice in Wonderland. They're not really doing that anymore for some reason. I'm not sure why. And I used to get PR from them all the time, and I haven't in a really, really long time. So I'm not sure what's going on with Wet n Wild. I thought this was fun. This is another, like, this formula is that squishy, fun shimmer type of formula that was in the Perfume Peanuts palette. I loved my looks with this. Not bad. I just won't ever really reach for it. Now, this was a blast from the past. Buxom Cosmetics. I'm not even sure they're around anymore, to be honest. But this is so pretty. Do I want to get rid of this? They were like these all shimmery jewel tones. They're so pretty. Why am I getting rid of this, you guys? No, Alicia, I don't need it. Okay, I think probably when I first put this in the declutter, because I've been putting together this declutter collection for a while now. So I'm trying to remember my headspace of why I was like, yeah, let's let it go. I think it's just that when I see this, I think, oh, so pretty. But then whenever I think about my top shimmer formulas and other palettes, like my DD Signature, my Divini Beauty, my Wicked Widow Beauty, when Nomad does like some multi-chromes and things like that, even some of my Glaminatrix palette, like, I just think of like all my favorite palettes and the shimmers in there. Then it makes me go, okay, but those are also pretty. And put it away before I change my mind. Okay, we have, I feel like I'm getting delirious here. Some mini eyeshadows. Okay, DD Signature again. These are little quads. Are there 4? I thought there was another one. Okay, I'm just seeing these 2 right now. I think I kept one. I like these. She's changed her formula since this, though. I think that's what convinces me to get rid of it, is as much as I kind of like, oh yeah, these are fine. Why would I keep them whenever I have her like amazing stuff? And someone else will like these. Okay, I love this palette. So I'm going to tell you why I'm getting rid of it, though. The Chariot palette, this is the Fleeting Life palette. I have 4 of their palettes, I think now. 3 or 4. Some of the, that's it. I keep forgetting to mention them. Sea Beauty also kind of change. If you guys don't know, that's like, you know, like Chinese beauty, and or sometimes it's just like even like the Asian beauty, like their eyeshadow palettes, the direction they started going, it's like they took a note from indie and did it their own way that was really sleek and unique and interesting. Like the packaging. This packaging, stunning, gorgeous. Like those like cheapy cardboard gimmicky palettes could never. This is so nice and slim. Like you can store it. It's like they took, ooh, Indie's doing this really cool thing with like eyeshadows being so multi-dimensional and shimmery and shifty, but we're gonna do that, but we're gonna make it really sleek, elegant, and like cooler. So I love this palette. It does have a busted shade of one of my favorite shades in here, and they actually sent me a replacement. So that's why. Otherwise, I would not be getting rid of this palette because I love it. It's another like Alicia in a palette. But yeah. Okay, we are almost done here. Almost. We have 2 more LA Color palettes. I remember getting these and being like, how are these $1 or $2? They're so good. I think back then I thought so. Like they're that like shimmer formula. It's really thick and super, super pigmented. Let me show you. Like very pigmented, has a little shine to it, but no sparkle. It's just not something I reach for, but I still think for the money, these are great. We have a Luna Magic palette, Call My Agent. I like this palette. I really like Luna Magic. I think they have a really good stance on, or like market in the kind of in between drugstore and slightly above that. So like it's like they're in between drugstore and say a Glamlight, or what's another brand I'd call them in between? Maybe, why is my mind escaping me? Anyway, a little bit better than drugstore, and they also price them well. I like this color story. I just have like other mauve palettes that I like better. We have this little quad by CoverGirl. I actually was surprised how much I like this. It gives a nice kind of denim look, like a smoky denim look, which I think is fun. I just, in my collection, I don't need a little 4-pan from CoverGirl anymore. Then we have a Dose of Colors. This is the 4th one. No, I had 4. I've got 1 left that I've kept. It's a green one. This is Golden Hour. These are actually really good. They are. I have nothing bad really to say about it other than it just doesn't make sense for me to keep it, but someone else will like it. We have a Gourmande Girls Galactic Gourmande. It's just a little 6-pan, fun, multi-chrome, duochrome. It's fun. They're just, I've got a lot, even like in her palettes. I have a bunch and I just don't need it, but they're good. We have the Star Wars palette from Pat McGrath. Man, people were so mad about this one. Like they were like, that collection sucked and like these suck. I don't mind this. Gosh. I liked, it was my favorite of the ones that launched, like packaging wise, having Darth on there. And then I liked a kind of darker shimmer color story of this, but I never reached for it. I have 8, looking at them, maybe 9 of her motherships, plus a couple of the holiday. I have one of the holiday palettes on today, by the way, of Pat McGrath. So I just never reached for that. My last ones, is this it, you guys? Are you still here? Okay. Kaleidos. Man, these, the Futurism, so 1 through 5. These are great. Packaging was cool, unique. This magnetic packaging, this slim, pretty. These little, I was going to say 5-pans or 6-pans. These little 6-pans. This is probably my favorite color story out of them all. I don't know what, Kaleidos just, what happened to them? Like they lost their identity as well. I used to really like what they put out. This was probably the best collection of them. I think this is my second favorite, the bronze one. Love this one. I'm letting them go because I'm just not excited by the brand anymore. I think that's really the only reason. And I have so many eyeshadow palettes. A friend actually gave these to me, Marty, if she's watching. I love you. I know you gifted these to me a long time ago, and you were so sweet to do that. And I was so excited back in the day, and I had fun with them while I did, but I just don't need them. So these, someone else is going to be really, really excited, like I used to be, over these. That's it, you guys. If you are still here again, I thank you so much. If you are still here and you've been with me for a long time for makeup, thank you. I hope you stick around. Like, I'm still worth more than just the makeup. But I get if you're not into fragrance, this wouldn't be for you. But it's been a fun ride for a long time. It's just a new era. It's just not the same for me anymore. But that is it, you guys. I thank you so much for watching if you're still here. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping, and looking and smelling fabulous. Bye.